And we're back with the Wealth Guardian Show. Well, I'm back. If you haven't noticed, my two cohorts, Brian Geiser and Paul Taylor, are missing in action today. Brian is sick, and Paul is recovering from his Nicaraguan mission trip. So it's just me. Guarding your retirement from market losses with safe money strategies. Folks, if you've got a question, a concern, or a comment, the phone lines are open, 336-777-1600. And JJ tells me we did have a book winner. And, Betty, that book will be on its way to you this week. Congratulations, and hope you can come to our workshop in Blowing Rock on Saturday, September the 10th. By the way, folks, we will be giving away several door prizes at that workshop, so it'll be worth your while to come. Not only will you learn something about how to manage your money, you'll probably take away something when you come to the workshop. So it's 800-515-2919, 800-515-2919 to reserve your seat Saturday, September 10th, 11:30 to 1:30 at the Canyons Restaurant in Blowing Rock. Okay, I was teasing you guys in the last half hour about this little phenomena I discovered where you can make a tidy little profit in a couple of months. And, I've looked at charts going back 25 years, and it just works year after year after year. Now, it's got about an 83% accuracy rating, so it doesn't work every single year. And, in fact, in 2008, had you done this, you would have had your behind handed to you, so you need to learn an exit strategy as well. But here it is. What I discovered was that going into about September, retail stocks are pretty depressed. Now, I'm not going to tell you what retail stocks to buy. That's your job. You got to do some homework here too. But typically, if you buy a retail stock somewhere in September and hold it through the second week of December, sometimes you need to get out of it after Thanksgiving, that typically generates about a 20% return in just a few weeks. Now, you ask yourself, why is that? Well, think about it. Here we are going into the Christmas season. And, all the shows are talking about the Christmas shopping and how the stores are doing and this, that, and the other. Retail stocks typically don't do very well during the summer months, so they're fairly depressed anyway. And this has typically brought about a nice little run going into the fall and the Thanksgiving time frame. So do your homework. I got up as normal early on Saturday morning to do some last-minute show prep, and I was looking at a bunch of retail stocks this morning. And I'll tell you, there's several nice setups out there. Just about every one of them are at pivot lows right now. And like I said, there's a ton of retail stocks. Do your own homework and pick one. But this is just nothing but charting, and it's history. So good luck with it. All right. I want to do a quick case study because this past week, one of our friendly competitors who has a radio show took a call, and the call was basically asking about indexed annuities, which we like and he doesn't. And the advisor, the radio host, told the caller that the typical stuff. Oh, they're bad. They don't make any money. You can only make 3%. Typical stuff that most risk advisors don't know because they've never sold one. And here's the pet peeve I have with them, with folks like this, these advisors. If you've never used a product and you've never studied the product and you don't have a dime of money in that product, how can you be a critic of that product because you don't know how it works? Period. Now, I've said this a million times on this show. I've been on that side of the table. I have sold millions and millions of dollars of mutual funds and managed money for my clients. I know how both sides of the table work. Neither one of them are bad, and neither one of them are perfect investments. When they're used properly in a plan, then they can be very, very powerful tools to help you folks meet your ultimate financial or retirement goals. But they have to be balanced, and they have to be properly used. You can't just sit back and buy a mutual fund and forget about it, not in this environment. And at the same time, not all fixed indexed annuities are alike. There are some bad ones out there, folks, and you need to find people like myself and Brian and Paul who know the market and know the companies that produce the good ones, and only use those companies that do have good products. So anyway, to answer my friendly competitor's advice, I want to give you a real life case study. We've been doing a lot of annual reviews here lately, and some of these folks, have been in the indexed annuities for 2, 3, 4 years and have some nice returns to talk about. Again, I'm going to change the name, and we're going to use Dick and Jane. These are folks of mine that live in South Charlotte, actually across the border down in South Carolina. Dick retired in '07, in early '07. He came to one of my dinner seminars I had at that time, and they were both very risk averse because they had lost a lot of money in their 401ks in that 2000 to 2002 downturn. And by then, he had just about gotten back to where he was in 2000. Not quite, but he was getting close, and also he was starting to get kind of concerned about, where things were headed. So after doing some retirement planning, we took $295,000 of his IRA and moved it into one of our fixed indexed annuity concepts. And it was one where he could pick up a 10% deposit bonus. And by the way, folks, we still have those. There is still 10% deposit bonus indexed annuities out there right now. So he got nearly $30,000 added to his account day one. Well, he also started taking an income stream out because he needed to help supplement his retirement, and he was taking out $26,400 a year. Well, if you recall what happened back then, in the summer of '07, the stock market peaked out. And by the fall of '07, we'd started the second bear market of the 2000 decade. Interest rates started to fall, which meant bond prices went up. So not only did Dick's fixed indexed annuity not go down 1 penny in value, it does not follow the market down. It actually went up because the underlying bond portfolio in those indexed annuities went up in value. Well, by April of '09, the stock market had dropped over 50% in value, and Dick's fixed indexed annuity was worth $270,000, and that's after he'd taken out $52,000. Okay? So at that point in time, I looked and I identified that there was a chance to upgrade his indexed annuity to another one that offered more advantages and more opportunity. It also allowed us to capture that hidden profit that was in his annuity because of that increase in bond prices. Now, folks, this is true of most fixed annuities. So if you're sitting out there with an old fixed annuity or an old fixed indexed annuity, you really ought to call us and have us check and see if you've got some of this hidden value in there. One of the things that's happened in the marketplace since the stock market's been going down over the last month is bond prices have gone through the roof. So you've got a lot of hidden value in those annuities. And maybe it'll make sense for you to capture that hidden value and do something else with it. And the only way you're going to know if you've got it, because you can't see it on your statement, the only way you're going to know you've got it is by giving us a call at 800-515-2919 and let us sit down with you and help you examine your annuity and see if you've got a positive market value adjustment in there. All right, so on with Dick. So we took advantage of that market value adjustment. We rolled $271,000 tax-free into another IRA, picked up another 10% bonus, and now his account value is back to $298,000. Well, Dick and Jane are your perfect clients because you never hear from them until the annual review comes up, and that's because they're pretty happy. His check comes every month. His account value never goes down. So you don't hear from him too much. Well, now he's taken out $26,000 every year from this account. And since we made the change in April of 2009, he's taken out $52,000. And his current account value is $326,000. So let me recap. And I want you risk advisors out there who poo-poo indexed annuities and tell your people that they can't make any money in them. You listen to this and listen closely. Here's the recap. We started with $295,000 in May of 2007, taking out $26,000 of income. The principal was protected from that major bear market that whole time. 2 years later, we transferred $271, upgraded his account, and continued to take out $26,000 a year. In June of this year, that account value is $326,677 after taking out $105,000. Now, folks, how many of you'd like to have an account like that, especially one that performed like that during this past 4 or 5 years? I'm telling you, when they're used right, it's hard to beat them. When they're used wrong, that's also remedied by using an advisor who knows what they're doing. And I'll without sounding egotistical, I think the three of us do a great job of putting plans together and using the right tool to do it. All right, I hear the music. That means we're at the end of another segment. Folks, we'll be right back with more Wealth Guardians.